Are you feeling overwhelmed by your humongous to-do list? Like you add 10 things to it every day and you only cross off like 2 or 3, and then you multiply that by every day of the year. No wonder we feel swamped. We look at our list and we're just like unsure where to start, so we just don't start anything till the last minute. Welcome to the club. In this video, I'll guide you through practical systems that I rely on to fight off the overwhelm and all that decision fatigue every day, making home life and mom life more organized and less chaotic. And I'm also so excited to share with you this gem of wisdom that I have found online. It's called the Get It All Done Club, and it was created by Katie Voetberg. It's an online program and also community of mothers that has absolutely elevated my homemaking, my homeschooling, and my motherhood approach in general. Katie is obsessed with systems and really creating less friction in your life so that you don't have to think so hard about what you're doing every day and recreate the wheel every day with things like meal planning, laundry systems, organizing your kids' clothes, all kinds of things like that in motherhood where you're constantly like packing lunches. There's systems for all of those things. It's an online program plus online community of other like-minded moms who are in the same season or a season ahead of you that you can learn from and talk to all over the world. And it's been such a cool thing off of social media to be involved in because I feel like I can ask questions, I can read what other people are writing, see different people's systems that work for them, connect with other moms who have kids that are similar ages to mine, or just learn from the wisdom of moms who are a couple steps ahead of me and seeing what they're doing so I can have a heads up with expectations for what to expect in the coming months, years, decades with children. Here's some examples of things I've learned in the Get It All Done Club. Full Fridge Friday, how to create restful dinner time systems, determining your days ahead of time. This one was a big one for me. Like it didn't even occur to me to have buffer days. So we have free days, focus days, and buffer days. And determining that ahead of time or like at the beginning of the day, what that day is going to be and just naming it and figuring out what you're doing on that day and not putting so much pressure on you on buffer days, but then also being able to like run quickly on the focus days when you know that you're just focusing on busting things out on your to-do list or routines or systems that you have. I just love the concept of buffer days. I had never heard of that before. That's a concept for business that she has transferred to motherhood, and she goes into depth on what it looks like to have a free focus and buffer day in motherhood. I created an external brain, which is like a binder to keep track of all those things that you need to remember daily. I learned how to create an environment in our home that supports what I want to be doing with my time. I've identified my prime mover. I've started eliminating friction for the habits that I do want and creating friction for the habits that I don't want. I figured out my why for doing the mundane, and also I've learned about the concept of foundational thresholds. So I can remember exactly what I need to be doing each day when life throws you curveballs and things get kind of unexpected, crazy. There's sickness or you're traveling or the seasons change and all of a sudden you add in this new activity, so that I can easily remove all the extra optional bonus things from my daily life to focus on meeting the basic needs of my family and our household instead of feeling like I'm drowning under all the things that need to get done at a foundational level. Hey there, if you're new here, I'm Adrienne. I used to work as a speech-language pathologist, but now I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mom of 2 boys who are 20 months apart. They're now 3.5 and 5 years old. I also teach an American Sign Language class for beginners where you learn the 300 most used sign language words in 30 days. The sign language class is designed for young children, teens, and adults who want to learn sign language. It's also a fun and engaging option for homeschooling families to use as a foreign language class because the whole family can learn and practice together. When it comes to managing my time, in the past, I've noticed that I tend to operate in 2 distinct ways. On one end of the spectrum, I meticulously plan every aspect of my day. I set ambitious goals and create what seems like the perfect ideal schedule, perfect meal plan, and systems for our home. But over time, my motivation starts to tank, my plans start to unravel, someone gets sick, the holidays derail my momentum, or our schedule shifts a tiny bit, we add a new activity or subtract an activity from our schedule, and then things just change and the wheels just start to fall off when we hit bumps in the road or those unexpected curveballs. And then I just give up because I bit off more than I can chew at once, I feel like overwhelmed and I feel like I've failed at all my goals. And then I swing to the other end of the spectrum and I have a more spontaneous approach. I don't plan ahead much at all. I go with the flow and fly by the seat of my pants and feel stressed because I'm like rushing to get things done last minute. I constantly feel a nagging feeling like I'm missing something or forgetting to do something. I've identified these patterns in my life and these habits that I've developed over time. And I've identified that the problem is that I often set up these perfect ideals in my mind. And then when reality falls short, when I fall short, when my motivation sinks to a level that's below my ideal motivation level, I tend to just abandon ship entirely and like throw out the plan and think I should do something totally new and then create a whole new ideal system for myself. These are not the best habits. These are not the best patterns, but it's the truth of what I tend to default to. So I realized it's time for a change. I needed systems in place that could adapt to different seasons of life as my kids grow and as we change activities, as we have different focuses and different priorities over the years. I need to have something that's not so rigid and not so ideal. As we grow, as our kids grow, our needs just tend to evolve and our commitments shift, and flexibility is key. That's just the natural ebb and flow of things, and it's something that I have come to accept more and more and understand, like really wrap my head around. You've seen my videos and how I make things visual. I'm a visual person and I occasionally get scatterbrained and forgetful when life gets hectic. I've learned that I absolutely need to keep things organized and visual for the sake of my own sanity. Many friends over the years have praised me for my organizational skills over the years, but the truth is it's not just like a fun hobby for me, it's a necessity. Creating visual systems for me isn't about aesthetics of the system, it's about ensuring I can remember tasks and avoid forgetting important things. If something is out of sight, it's out of mind for me. That's why I've developed systems that keep everything in plain view right where I need them to prevent things from slipping through the cracks. Now I'll share a few practical tips that I've been doing over the years that have been helpful for me and might help you too. First, I tape up recipes inside my kitchen cabinets for quick reference. No need to memorize measurements to make banana pancakes or granola. Next, I have a laminated packing list in my suitcase with every possible travel item you could ever need listed, along with a dry erase marker for easy checking off. I also maintain a shared Costco list in my notes app, making shopping easier for both me and my husband. You can do the little bullet points that have check marks as you check things off of the list. To keep track of leftovers and the date that I put them in the fridge, I just write the date on the glass or the plastic top with a dry erase marker so I don't have to rely on my memory thinking like, when did I put this in here? How many days has it been here? Is it still good to eat? You might remember from my previous video the visual aids that I use for my kids, like the calendar that I got on Etsy with the visual icons with pictures and words underneath them that you can just stick up with Velcro on the weekly calendar so your kids can get an idea of how many days there are in a week, what's happening that week, the flow, when they can expect the really fun, exciting things, and which days are just more at home. They can just look at a glance and see what day it is and know exactly what to expect. I use the dry erase clock and visual timers. I've linked that video below if you haven't seen it yet. It's a great one with so many great helpful ideas. A couple summers ago, when my boys were 1 and 3, we had a weekly routine of heading to a nearby park to meet up with friends and spend the morning playing at the creek. With little ones, that meant packing a humongous bag full of essentials: play clothes, snacks, water bottles, spare clothes for all of us, towels, soap for hand washing because there wasn't a nearby sink, and after playing in the creek water, one of my kids still sucked his thumb, so I was like, we washed our hands after, right before getting in the car. We would pack picnic lunches and even a smoothie for the drive. Despite my best efforts in the chaos of morning routines, diaper changes, and breakfast preparation and cleanup, I often found myself forgetting something once we arrived at the creek, which would bother me. So I streamlined the process by creating a creek checklist and I just taped it up by the garage door. This way, on creek mornings, I could just follow the list without worrying about forgetting everything and relying on my memory to get me through. Having systems in life can take a ton of that mental load off our brain to free us up to leverage our limited time and energy as a mom so we can connect with our kids instead of constantly feeling like we're on a hamster wheel of to-do list items and overwhelm, like recreating the wheel every day. When it comes to managing motherhood in our household, I realized I had scattered systems here and there, but I lacked a central foundation. I needed a stronger mindset, vision, and almost like permission to establish a baseline of essential items and systems. These systems would outline the bare minimum tasks for the day, week, and month. This way, during times of sickness or unexpected events, I wouldn't abandon all of our routines and just be so overwhelmed and paralyzed. In the past, I created a binder for recipes and a comprehensive grocery list, but now I needed something similar to that, but for motherhood, visual yet flexible. Being a stay-at-home mom, wife, and homemaker comes with a lot of decisions all the time. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to make these choices alongside my husband, but there are moments when decision fatigue sets in and leaves me feeling stuck. That's when I love to turn to those who have already established systems and are further along in their journey. I have a strong growth mindset and I eagerly absorb new ideas and try to blend them with my own creativity to benefit my family. I really enjoy learning from others and adapting and discovering what works for us in each new season. Finding a mom friend who's paved the way with home systems, checklists, habits, and routines can be a huge relief for me. By taking what aligns with our current needs and then leaving behind what doesn't, I'm able to navigate our journey while keeping valuable ideas in mind for the future as our kids grow. I'm thrilled to introduce you to someone who shares my passion for systems and delivers them in a fun, realistic, and actionable way. Meet Katie Voetberg. I wish she lived next door, but she's all the way across the country. Thanks to YouTube and her online program, I've benefited immensely from her wisdom. Katie is the oldest of 11 children, and her husband Elisha is the fourth of 10 children. They now have 5 children, a YouTube channel, and a podcast called Now That We're a Family. Their shared vision for family culture, connection, and leaving a multi-generational legacy resonates deeply with me. I love how she and Elisha tackle various topics with an eternal perspective. Katie prioritizes efficiency and setting up systems to run her home and homeschooling effectively, allowing her to focus on building an amazing family culture and spending time connecting with her children. Since her oldest children are just a few years older than mine, I love being able to hear Katie's wisdom, and I'm inspired by her joy in her children. I started telling my boys, I delight in you. You're a delight. And when others comment on having my hands full, I respond, I love it. They're such a delight. It's really shifted my perspective about motherhood and been such a fruitful mindset shift. Especially in our current culture, which in general tends to see children as a burden and something that's holding you back from achieving your highest potential. I love and appreciate her mindset of children as a gift, and that's something that I really connected with when she shares that on her YouTube channel. It's something that I was feeling already, but I love how she puts it into words and really gives you practical ways to walk that out. Oh, and something that's so amazing and precious and valuable is the videos where Katie interviews her mom, and she just shares all these gems of wisdom, and it reminds me of my own relationship with my mom. Even though I haven't met Katie in person yet, maybe someday, I've been watching her videos forever, and I was so excited to join her Get It All Done club. I remember being struck by this quote on her website. I'll paraphrase it. Motherhood has changed a lot over the years. You used to learn everything you needed to know about homemaking from your mother, then easily slide into being a mom yourself. And you had a lot of family support around, maybe even living in the same home. It's not really like that anymore. You're thrown into motherhood without really having life experience. College, the workforce, nothing prepared you with tried and true trade secrets for the biggest job of your life. And there are thousands of social media voices shouting opinions on how to raise your children, making you more confused than ever. I really appreciate this quote because the motherhood landscape on social media and YouTube can be really overwhelming. On one side, there's the hustle culture, always pushing productivity and life hacks to cram as much as possible into every single minute of your day. On the other side, there's a culture of resignation where some feel like victims to motherhood, constantly complaining about their kids, overwhelmed by household chores, and deeply resentful about the repetitive tasks like cooking, cleaning, and laundry. The Get It All Done Club is designed to support modern mothers who often lack the homemaking and mothering life experience passed down from previous generations. Katie shares practical strategies and tips to create a peaceful, productive home, raise joyful children, and cultivate a life you love waking up to. One of the program's standout features is its emphasis on systems. By implementing these systems, I've been able to streamline my daily tasks, manage my time more efficiently, and significantly reduce overwhelmed feelings. If you're thinking about joining the Get It All Done Club, I'm excited that Katie gave me a coupon code to share with you. Use the code Adrienne at checkout, and you'll get 15% off of your enrollment. It's a one-time enrollment fee and you'll get lifetime access. I hope to see you inside the clubhouse. I participate regularly, so we could connect there. You can ask questions, share advice, or search by topic like meal planning, homeschooling, organization, and more. Click the link in the description of this video to learn more about the Get It All Done Club, and remember, you get 15% off with the coupon code Adrienne. That's spelled Adrienne. See you on the inside. Mwah! I'll see you in my next video.